There are no quick fixes with type 2 diabetes. Wouldn't it be awesome if there were? All right, disclaimer, I'm Seamus. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionalist. I'm not a diabetes expert, except for I am an expert in my diabetes. Anything you hear on this podcast or any podcast, don't make any changes to medication or anything without first consulting with your physicians, right? Go in with research, but make sure before making any big changes that you talk with them. There's no quick fixes with type 2 diabetes. I did a search to see how long does it take to reverse diabetes. Now, reversing diabetes and remission are basically the same thing, right? Once you're a type 2 diabetic, you'll always be a type 2 diabetic. You always have an inclination to diabetes, whatever, right? Remission is 100% when you, through diet and exercise, you don't have any type 2 diabetes. You don't have high blood sugar. Your A1C is below 5.6 and you're not taking any meds. That's remission. That's where I'm at. But it wasn't quick, right? It took 18 months. But there's no quick fixes. So I searched how long does it take to reverse diabetes? And the answer was depends. There's no clear answer on it. If you see a video that says you can reverse your diabetes in 2 weeks, you can't. That's not absolutely not true. You can lower blood sugar levels in 2 weeks. You can lower them really fast if you want to. They're on a day by day thing, right? But what you're really looking for is your A1C, which is a 90-day look back at your blood sugar. And that's why they use it. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But it is a good indication of where you're at. And it is different for everyone based on a ton of factors, including severity. How long have you been a type 2 diabetic? Did you know the longer you've been a type 2 diabetic, the harder it is to get into remission? Yeah, because your body gets used to it, right? Body's amazing. The body just will get used to us just hammering it for years and years and years and be like, okay, well, we got to stay alive. So we're adjusting to this. So the longer you've been a type 2 diabetic, the harder it is to get into full remission. Lifestyle changes. Are you doing the right things? And we all know what the right things are, right? As you're doing research, like you're watching this because you want to do your research, because you want to find a reason to control your type 2 diabetes and get into remission. Genetics, age, overall health. If you have other health issues that are going on that can affect your type 2 diabetes, if you're like me, getting old, right? They always say when you hit 50, everything falls apart. Well, I was 49 in 9 months when I got diagnosed. By the time I was 50, I was actually, getting into a little bit better place. But wow, they weren't kidding. 50 is a number. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. Now I feel better because I'm healthier now at 51 than I was at 41. But those are all different factors, and there's lots of other factors, right? But you can see improvements in your blood sugar in just a few weeks, but to reverse it or go into remission is going to take time, which nobody wants to hear. Listen, there's a lot of people. I could make a video right now that says you can reverse your diabetes in 12 days by doing these 15 things. I would get so many views, I'm sure, right? And it would be all crap because it isn't true. And people are out there doing that, trying to get views on stuff that is just not true. You can see improvements in your blood sugar, though, in just a few weeks. That is absolutely true, especially if you're pre-diabetic. My goodness, if you're pre-diabetic and watching this, please do your research. Get out. Do not get to type 2 diabetes. Get below 5.6 on your A1C and move on. I went from an 11.1 A1C. That was my 90-day blood sugar average at diagnosis, which is off the freaking charts, right? They do have a chart. I was off it. I know people have had higher A1Cs, but that was very high. I mean, if you're above a 7, you're doing damage, right? Above a 7. I'm at 11.1 at diagnosis. I went to a 5.1 A1C in 6 months using the meds and diet and exercise and being a complete psycho about type 2 diabetes. But I was on a mission. I had a goal to get off all the meds, to get into remission, get off the meds in a year, and to be in 100% remission within 18 months. So I went from 11.1 to 6.4 in just 3 months. 3 months is not that much time when you really think about it. But the dedication that it took and the what I gave up was pretty crazy. It was very extensive. It was going from not working out to working out 12 times a week, right? It was from eating whatever the heck I wanted, except for I was a vegetarian, so I wasn't eating meat. Which honestly, I was a really bad vegetarian. You can be a horrible vegetarian. You can eat Oreos, you can eat Snickers, you can eat cheese pizza 16 times a day, but you're still a vegetarian. So anyway, but I went from all of those choices to really good health choices and saw results very, very fast. Now I had a reason to get to very low very fast, which was I had to also have another surgery. So on July 31st, I also found out I had a little bit of cancer. I say a little bit of cancer because it was very dinky and it was in my chest and they took it out, but they wouldn't do the surgery unless I got my A1C below 9.0, right? And at the time, I'm at 11.1. I'm like, I had no idea how long that was going to take. I looked online, I read stuff. I mean, there's no real blueprint for it, right? They can't be like, okay, do this, this, and this, and you'll lower your A1C, you'll go down. They said, I believe if I remember correctly, it was to go down. It was was it a point a year? I can't remember. I think it was that on average or something like that, that you could lower your A1C 1 point, meaning I could get to 10.1 in 12 months by using the medication. And I was like, what? That's not going to work. But that was probably taken in averages when only, 6% of type 2 diabetics actually reach remission. That is not to discourage you. Those are facts, right? But you have to commit to it and you have to also understand that it's going to take some time for most people. I would say that I'm in a very much not normal when it comes to how fast I went from 11.1 to 5.1 in 6 months. I don't think that's a normal thing, right? I think I'm really good at diabetes. I think the choices I was making, especially in the 3 months leading up to my diagnosis, were food wise and exercise wise and stress wise were horrible, right? And that all needed to stop. And I think that I was for me personally, at a high point and was ready. My body was ready to get to back to normal as fast as possible. It was the absolute swift kick in the ass that I needed, and I took it. So I'm really good at diabetes. For now, the long game is staying in remission. The numbers of people that with type 2 diabetes that achieve remission was like 6%. The After like 5 years, it goes down to 1.6. Like the people that are able to stay the course is even smaller. I hope that you are one of them, and I hope that you do. It'd be awesome. Um, I slowly became a diabetic. I quickly changed things, and now the challenge is staying strong. Right? It's it happens to you in life if you ever walk into a situation where something is working, and it's like joining a basketball team, right? That won the state championship the last 6 years. Right now, you're the starting point guard. Right? The only goal is to win another state championship. There's all this pressure. So as I'm looking at my diabetic journey, and for my physicians, I mean, the endocrinologists and all these, they're looking at me going, whoa, I wish everyone did this. I'm like, oh, awesome, awesome, right? And the dedication and getting to that goal and getting to that point where they tell me I don't have to take meds anymore and all that kind of stuff. That was actually going to be a lot easier than 5 years from now, where I'm still hopefully at a level well below being pre-diabetic, right? But that's going to be harder. But it does take time. The goal should be, in my opinion, and for me, it was certainly the goal, was no meds, right? I wanted to have that appointment, and I have a little piece of paper. You know how you get those little, I don't know why do they still give you reminder cards on pieces of paper? Right? They text me 15 times that I have a doctor's appointment. But at any rate, had a doctor's appointment scheduled. It was my 1 year since the diagnosis, and I was 9 months out from that. So I had gone and got my A1C checked, and I think it was 5.2, and I was getting rid of medicine. And every time I get rid of medicine, I had to get more dedicated because it was harder and harder for me to control the blood sugar. Anyway, it was a lot easier in the beginning. But they give me the little piece of paper, and I said, "Can I borrow your pen?" Absolutely. And I wrote in really big letters in it, sitting right over here in my office, no meds. And she's like, oh, I said, if I come in here with a 5.1 A1C and down to hardly any medicine, I said, we're stopping the meds and I will start them back up if I can't keep myself below 5.1 or, 5.1, 5.4, whatever, somewhere below 5.6. But I said, that's the goal. August 13th. Went in August 13th. I said, I know what my A1C is. We're getting off the med. So that's what the goal should be, right? How do you get there? Losing weight, insulin sensitivity instead of resistance, right? We're trying to get the fat out of the cells so that we let the insulin do its job, right? So the only way to get the fat out of the cells is to lose weight. And everyone, by the way, keeps fat in cells in different ways. Like sometimes people just their cells love fat and they keep it in the wrong places. And so it makes it even harder and harder and harder to get past that insulin resistance. Do not kid yourself. If you lose weight, that does not guarantee that you are going to pull enough fat out of the cells that all of a sudden you're going to be insulin sensitive, which means that your insulin works really good. And when you have blood sugar, it goes into the cells because we need glucose. My brain's running on it right now. I could probably use a little bit more. I'm in the middle of a fasting stage, but any rate, losing weight is no guarantee that you will get rid of your type 2 diabetes. It's a huge part of it. And I lost some weight. I did. I dropped, I think, 30 pounds in 3 months. Very, very shocking. I had what they like to call Ozempic face. My wife said, my skin was falling. It's kind of recovered now, but I had a little hangy skin on the face going on. Another key strategy is obviously diet. So when we eat, and I personally do whole food, plant-based, low fat. That's what I eat. Whole food, real foods, plant-based. I don't eat any meat. I don't eat any cheese. And I do when I cheat, but 95% of the time I don't. And then low fat. Okay. There's a reason for it. Your body knows what to do with food. That's what it's built for. When you eat an apple, right? Your body knows what to do. If you're not vegan or vegetarian, when you eat chicken, just chicken, not with candied chicken, not orange chicken, it's just real food. It knows what to do. Think Mediterranean diet. And exercise. Now, this was 100% one of the best things that I did was upping my exercise schedule to a level that was, the most I've ever done in my entire life. Maybe back to high school. I mean, I was a runner and a basketball player in high school, so we worked out quite a bit. But you're in high school, you don't know, right? You're not adding anything up. But walking, huge, right? It's great for working those big muscles and burning that glucose as fast as possible. Lifting, very important. That was one of the last things I added in was actually strength training. And I fell off of it for a while. And guess what? Made it harder for me to control stuff. So I'm back on it now. I may not look like I have any muscles because I don't, but I'm strong, right? They're saying about 150 minutes a week is suggested. That's 21 minutes per day ish, right? That's the minimum that you should be working out, doing walking, doing lifting, anything like that. Cardio, like I'm a runner. 3 days a week I run pretty high. Actually, when I get done with this, I'm gonna go run 5 miles. That's what I do on Sundays. I work out on average about 2 hours a day. That's a lot. I enjoy it. I listen to podcasts. I learn. I can watch YouTube videos while I'm doing the elliptical. I do a whole bunch of things, but I work out twice a day, about 2 hours. Yesterday I did a disc golf marathon where I think I played for 4 hours. So I was walking and throwing a disc through the mountains for like 4 hours, right? 23,000 steps. So it was a good day, but that's the minimum is 150 minutes. So I'm not trying to say be like me. What I'm saying is this is what I know everyone's going to say. Well, if I just do what you do, I'm going to be successful at it. That's not the case, but 150 minutes a week is the minimum. Stress management. This is where I fail. Yoga, meditation. I struggle with taking the time in my day to reduce stress. I have a pretty stressful job And I carry it over quite a bit. I'm working on it, right? It's a big key factor. Losing weight, diet, exercise, stress management. Stress is very bad for the body, and especially for type 2 diabetes. There are no quick fixes. Now, I ran across this thing the other day that I was like, oh, this is something that I need to. Every now and then you get that quote where you're like, I'm leaning in on this one, right? I'm going to hang on to this one. And it's called "Do the Thing." So I tried to research it, and I really honestly had a hard time finding out who actually said it. I know I'll find it at some point, but a lot of people, Ralph Waldo Emerson is who gets credited for it, but it's basically this idea called doing the thing, right? I even typed it wrong because I don't really know what I'm talking about, but it was enough. I heard it on a podcast, and I was like, that's all it took for me to go, I'm all in on this. I've told 30 people about this already because I can't stop myself. So, doing the thing. Only doing the thing is doing the thing. Thinking about doing the thing is not doing the thing. Researching how to do the thing is not doing the thing. Telling your friends how you're going to do the thing when you do the thing is not doing the thing. Listening to this podcast about doing the thing is not doing the thing. It helps, but it's not doing the thing. So only doing the thing is doing the thing. How does that relate? It relates in so many different areas in my life. Starting this podcast was a dream of mine. That was at the suggestion of all of my medical staff. Was like, you got to tell people about how you did it. You got to talk to people about it. And I was like, I don't know. Anyway, but I put this off for a long time. Now I'm doing the thing. I'm recording this right now. I am doing the thing. I'm not researching how to do the thing. I'm not talking about how to do the thing. I'm not thinking about doing the thing. I'm actually doing the thing right now. How does that relate to your journey with type 2 diabetes? Well, I run into a lot of people with type 2 diabetes, right? And I get frustrated because they're not doing the thing. They want to talk to me about how I did the thing, right? But that isn't doing the thing. They want to take a look at how I was successful with it and be like, okay, what they're doing is they're taking all the different things that I'm talking about, all the different running and all the eating and everything I did, and they're taking those little bits and pieces that they maybe like, and I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, but that's not doing the thing. That's just thinking about doing the thing. Doing the thing is doing the thing, right? Doing the thing is saying, I commit right now to 20 minutes of exercise every single day. That's doing the thing. Not thinking about it, committing to it, doing it, going out, walking 20 minutes. I commit to eating healthy for 6 weeks straight. I don't care. Any sort of goals. I love goals. But doing that is doing the thing, right? I commit to spending some time working on my stress management. I'm going to do yoga 3 days a week, whatever you come up with, right? Start with a goal, but do the thing. So every day, as much as possible, you need to be doing the thing. Eating real food, whole food, 98% of the time. That is doing the thing. Exercising, walking, lifting weights, stretching every day is doing the thing. Reducing, eliminating stress, meditation, yoga, just relaxing, right? Just controlling that stress levels. Like cortisol, everyone just chill out for a minute. That's doing the thing. Here's a big one. Nobody likes it. Wearing a CGM. One of the most important things you can do as a type 2 diabetic is put a CGM on. I have one on. Is it on this arm? Yeah. Expires in a couple hours. I got to put a new one on. It's a little disc, right? Nobody wants it. You put it on the back of your arm. Nobody wants it because it tells you exactly how good you're doing at all times during the day, right away. You just pick up your phone. I check my, 72 times a day. 72 times a day I check my CGM because I'm always looking at it. I'm always making sure that I'm doing the thing. But putting a CGM on, telling your doctor, I want to wear a constant glucose monitor. I want to know exactly where I'm at all times. Is 100% doing the thing. Maybe I should have put that one first because when you know where you're at, not just an A1C test every 3 months. When you know exactly what's happening, it kind of forces you to do the thing. Telling everyone you have type 2 diabetes is doing the thing. Type 2 diabetes becomes part of who you are if you're doing it right. There is not anyone in my circle or even outside my circle that doesn't know I have type 2 diabetes. I told everyone because I knew right off the bat that I was going to be changed and things were going to be different. And instead of like, why do you run all the time? I had this built-in excuse. I have type 2 diabetes. I have to go work out. See you later. Well, we wanted to go to lunch on Friday at noon. I can't. I have a workout scheduled because I'm doing the thing. But telling everyone in your uh, friends, family, work, all that is doing the thing, right? It's very important. CGM, tell everyone. Got it. Setting goals is doing the thing. Well, setting goals and achieving them is doing the things. It's easy to set goals, right? You can be like, I'm going to reverse my diabetes in 2 weeks. That's not realistic. But setting a realistic goal for reversing your diabetes, getting in remission, that is doing the thing. Feeling good about doing the thing is doing the thing. Right? When you're doing the thing, you feel good about it. You're making progress. You're doing something for yourself. So that is definitely doing the thing. There are no quick fixes when it comes to type 2 diabetes. And your timeline to remission is, it could be 3 years, right? But you got to start by doing the thing. It could be shorter. You could be done in 6 months. You be pre-diabetic. You could do the thing, do all the right things, reverse all those habits that are causing you to be pre-diabetic and your A1C is 5.8 or whatever it is. And you could reverse that in 3 months from now, your A1C is down to 5.1. You did the thing. Stay there. You never have to worry about it again. But whatever it is, my advice and what I did was I went out and I did the thing. I hope your A1C is down. I really do. And I have an amazing day.